Welcome back, everybody. Continuing on with this fabricable grinder project, I'm going to start cutting and fitting all the pieces that I had roughed out in the last video. I will be pulling the grinder wheel off and the belt pulley and all of that because I got to reduce the weight as I get ready to spin this thing over and put pieces together. It's just too heavy leaving it all together. I do have the top plate underneath the main frame of the old overhead line shaft structure. I'm going to match mark these holes and then drill this this plate out on the drill press. Man, I could sure use a set of transfer punches. I'm gonna have to look online and see if I can find on eBay an old vintage set. I don't want the new modern Chinese stuff because it just won't last. But anyway, I'm going to mark those holes and get on with drilling. So I did a little more research on F.E. Myers and Bro from Ashland, that's Ashland, Ohio. And in 1915, F.E. Myers and Bro was the largest manufacturer in Ashland, Ohio. I guess there was a ton of factories there, everything from soup to nuts, you know. And Myers and Brothers were most noted for home water systems and pumps and hay tools, but obviously they made line shaft components. They lived on a nearby farm just outside of Ashland, and lo and behold, their neighbors were the Studebakers. Yep, the Studebakers. So they started out with farm wagons, and eventually they made Studebaker automobiles and trucks. So yeah, there's a little bit of trivia for you. All right, that plate's temporarily bolted onto the frame. The next step is there's a couple of angle iron pieces that attach up here. They're actually going to weld on there, but I have to notch them, you know, to accommodate these bolt holes here. That would be piece number 6 on the sketch. You can see it from the side view. You can see them from the end view here on my chicken scratch drawing. So yeah, I'm going to cut those out next, get them on there, and then get the welder out and tack weld those on. And then I'll start building the bottom half of the structure. And when that's tacked together, we'll marry the two together. I'm going to have to hunt around my various stashes and see if I can find some square-headed nuts and bolts. That would be period correct, you know, 100+ years ago, instead of just standard old hex head and fasteners. I might have some around here. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen them. And sometimes Tractor Supply carries them, but I don't know if they would have them in 1/2 inch or not. I've got them in 5/16 before, when I was doing some repairs on the little trailer that goes behind the green bean. I put some square-headed fasteners on that because that's what it had originally from the factory. And so I know Tractor Supply had them in 5/16, but I don't know if they carry them in 1/2 inch. Well, I'm sure they do, but with the way supply things are right now, who knows? Yeah, I know, I just used the wrench as a hammer. I'll probably hear about that in the comments. But these are ancient Blackhawks. I don't think I'm going to hurt them. Okay, time to get the welder out, tack these up, and then start fabricating the bottom section of this bracket. Man, it'd be nice to have a set of Fireball Tools squares right now. I like their fabricator package. It's Jason up there in Spokane, Washington. He really puts together some serious fabricator squares and clamps and all that stuff. But hey, I'm using what I got. So there's my setup. I got this chunk of channel welded in. Now I'm doing the upright legs. As you can see, I got it tacked in right now. I'm going to get the other one tacked on there, then get the piece of channel iron that crosses here to the other one tacked in place, then I'll weld it all up. Come on, baby. Yeah, I can Gorilla Glove with the best of them. This sorry old Chemtron is at least as old as I am, but I gotta hand it to the old girl. It may take it a little bit to strike an arc, but once it strikes an arc, it welds. Well, I didn't goober that up too bad. No grinding involved this time, just a little work with the needle gun. Yeah. So that phase is done. Of course, these are just temporary. I was unable to find some square-headed bolts and nuts in my stash. And of course, Tractor Supply didn't have any, so I went ahead and did what I normally don't do. I bought some nice shiny grade 8 half-inch hex head bolts and nuts and flat washers and lock washers, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, I'll stumble across some square-headed stuff because I would like this to be a little more period correct. Square-headed nuts and bolts are pretty much the thing 100 plus years ago, so that's what I want to go with. And I discovered the issue I was having with the oxyacetylene setup. You know, it was goobering up and bubbling up, and it's called operator error. You got to move the torch at a fast enough pace to blow the stuff through instead of just letting it goober up all over everything. So the old man was moving too slow. Yeah, this one's only 3 inches. This is a small one. They get a whole lot bigger here. By the way, you heard me mention earlier that it would really be nice to have a set of Fireball tool squares for fabricating. Don't misunderstand me. I wasn't querying my viewership, soliciting donations of Fireball tool squares. That's not how I roll. I would never ask you for anything, money or tools or anything like that. I didn't word that correctly. I was just making an offhand remark. I tend to roll with what I have, you know, because that challenges me to be creative. And if I start gathering all the real cool custom stuff to make stuff easier, well, then the creativity gene kind of goes away. I am going to finish welding on the base, and then looking at that, it's speaking to me saying gusset, maybe with kind of a arc feature. And I'm seriously considering that, but before I do that, I will bolt on the grinder frame assembly first to see if I can incorporate a gusset on there, if it won't interfere. So let me finish welding the base up, then I'll bolt on the grinder frame, and we'll go from there. All right, this is looking like what I envisioned. I think that's going to work just fine. I'm going to have plenty of clearance from the grinding wheel to the deck. And with my collars and everything, I'll just mess that up right there. The jury is still out on the gusset here, because on each side, this part of the casting on the original line shaft arrangement sticks out a little bit. I probably should have accounted for that in my dimensions, my measurements, but I didn't. So, yeah, and I really don't want to grind those off because I want to keep that thing original. So, I may go with a simple flat bar on the outside. I don't know yet. You guys let me know in the comments. I'd like to hear your ideas. And I could go with something here with a flat bar and miss that completely. So, yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll take it from there. So, it's time to clean up some of the Gorilla Glob welds with a grinder and get ready to prep for some paint on that. And then I'll check the comments for you guys' suggestions on some kind of a stiffener, you know, because the belt pulley is going to be on this side and the force is pulling that way. I know I got enough strength, you know, there's a piece of channel up here. I know I got enough strength there, but just for a little insurance. But anyway, give me your ideas in the comments. I'm curious what you guys got to say, and I'll take it from there. But for right now, I'm going to pack it up, put the tools away. The sun is fading over the mountains, and it's getting close to dinner time. I'm getting hungry. I still got to hike up and get the mail out of the mailbox too. So, all right. So we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next segment of this grinder rehab. Bye now.